I am Riddhi Rode, a student of class 10 from Reliance Foundation School, Navi Mumbai. Today I will be speaking on the topic loss of simultaneity, which is the outcome of the theory of relativity and states that the past, present and future actually coexist and are not a result of how we perceive it. Confusing, right? Well, let us verify it. We have Alice standing in the middle of a cart with clocks placed at either sides of the train. Let's say she fires light pulses on either sides. Both these light pulses reach the clocks at the same time and therefore these clocks will be in sync. However, for Bob, who is observing this from the platform, for him, the clock at the front would be slower compared to the clock at the back. This is because the light is traveling in the same direction as that of the train. So now, let us synchronize these clocks for Bob and move Alice a little closer to the clock in the front, so that the difference between these two clocks is same as it was in the previous case. Now let the length of the cart be L, the distance between Alice and the clock at the front be X, and the distance between Alice and the clock at the back be L minus X. So the time taken by the light pulse to reach the clock at the front would be X upon C, whereas the time taken for the light pulse to reach the clock at the back would be L minus X upon C. Now, since the train is moving in this direction with the velocity v, the effective time taken for the light pulse to reach the front would be X upon C minus v, whereas for it to reach the back of the clock, it would be L minus X upon C plus v. Now we know that these two clocks are synchronized for Bob. Therefore, these two equations will be equal. Equating these two equations, we get the final equation as L into V upon C square as the loss of simultaneity obtained. So, the loss of simultaneity obtained, whatever be it in minutes, seconds or hours, it would be a result of the distance between the two clocks and the velocity with which they are traveling. So now this is a little trivial because the distances and speeds used in everyday life are insignificant. So let us see another example to understand this better. The Andromeda galaxy is the closest galaxy to the Earth with a distance of about 2 million light years, which is 19 quintillion kilometers. Can you even think of a number so big? So let's say we have aliens living on the Andromeda galaxy who are planning to invade the Earth. However, since it's a big commitment, it takes 2 million light years to reach the Earth even at high speed, they decide to vote on it tomorrow. Now we have Alice and Bob here who are watching the events unfold. Let's say Alice moves away from the Andromeda galaxy at a speed of say 1000 kilometers per hour and Bob moves towards the Andromeda galaxy at a speed of 1000 kilometers per hour. This distance is a function of L into V. Therefore, Alice, who is moving away, her numerator will increase significantly, whereas Bob, who is moving towards the galaxy, his numerator will decrease significantly. Therefore, for Bob, who is moving towards the galaxy, the aliens might have already left Andromeda. Their fleet of ships might be arriving at the Earth, whereas for Alice, the decision of voting might not even have happened. Her tomorrow might have not even arrived yet. So, relativity says that these two people disagree about what is happening right now 2 million light years away, and this depends on your frame of reference, the distance and speed. So let's say we have aliens who are observing what I'm doing right now from the Andromeda galaxy. For one of them, I might be concluding this presentation right now, whereas for another who is coming towards the Earth, I might even be at LAS. Interesting, isn't it?